Welcome back to the channel. Today's video uncovers a family so powerful, so deeply embedded in America's financial, political, and corporate systems that even presidents tread carefully around them. This is not a conspiracy story. This is documented history, money, influence, and control. This family doesn't run for office. They don't dominate headlines. They don't argue on social media. Yet their fingerprints are everywhere. From Wall Street to Washington. From oil to banking. From global institutions to American foreign policy. This is the Rockefeller family. And by the end of this video, you'll understand why people say they don't just influence America, they own it. The Rockefeller empire began with one man, John D. Rockefeller. By the late 1800s, John D. Rockefeller controlled over 90% of America's oil through Standard Oil. No company before or since has dominated an industry at that scale. Oil was not just fuel. Oil was transportation. Oil was war. Oil was industry. By controlling oil, Rockefeller controlled the backbone of the modern economy. When the U.S. government tried to break Standard Oil in 1911, it didn't destroy the family's wealth. It multiplied it. The breakup created dozens of companies. Exxon, Mobil, Chevron, and the Rockefellers owned major stakes in all of them. They didn't lose power. They spread it. Unlike flashy billionaires, the Rockefellers understood something early: real power isn't money, it's institutions. The family moved aggressively into banking, policy, and global influence. They helped shape Chase Manhattan Bank, the Federal Reserve System, the Council on Foreign Relations, the International Monetary Fund, the World Bank. David Rockefeller, one of the most powerful members of the family, was not just a banker. He was a kingmaker. World leaders didn't ignore his calls. They answered them. Presidents consulted him. Foreign governments negotiated with him. Wars and trade agreements passed through institutions he helped fund or lead. Presidents come and go. Rockefellers stay. Donald Trump built his image on being fearless, anti-establishment, and independent. Yet even Trump understands where real power lives. Trump is a billionaire in real estate. The Rockefellers are billionaires in systems. They don't own buildings. They own leverage. They influence interest rates, energy policy, international loans, media narratives, think tanks that advise presidents. You can insult politicians. You can attack corporations. But when you challenge the financial architecture of America itself, you face consequences. That's why no president ever openly declares war on the Rockefeller network. Media, education, and culture. The Rockefellers also understood something most billionaires ignore: control the story. They invested heavily in major media organizations, universities and research institutions, foundations that shape public policy. The Rockefeller Foundation has influenced healthcare, education reform, population studies, and global development for over a century. When ideas are taught, researched, and normalized, resistance disappears. You don't need force when you control belief. Why you don't hear about them? Elon Musk trends daily. Jeff Bezos dominates headlines. Trump thrives on controversy. The Rockefellers avoid attention. They operate through boards, foundations, endowments, and closed-door meetings. Their wealth is quiet. Their power is patient. Their influence is generational. While other billionaires rise and fall with markets, the Rockefellers structured their empire to survive wars, recessions, and political shifts. They don't chase relevance. They define it. They still control America today. Not directly. Not publicly. But influence doesn't disappear, it evolves. Their money flows through hedge funds, energy investments, global finance, policy advisory groups. Even today, decisions about oil, banking, climate policy, and international development trace back to institutions they shaped decades ago. The system still runs on their blueprint. The real reason this matters. This isn't about fear. It's not about paranoia or wild theories. It's about awareness. When people hear names like Rockefeller, they often assume the story ended decades ago. They believe the wealth faded, the influence weakened, and the family became just another chapter in history books. That assumption is exactly why families like this remain powerful. Understanding families like the Rockefellers helps explain why modern politics often feels like a performance rather than a true battle for control. Elections create the illusion of change, but the core systems remain untouched. Presidents change. Parties rotate. Policies are adjusted at the surface level. Yet the financial structure, the global institutions, and the long-term economic strategies stay almost exactly the same. This is why politics can feel staged. This is why elections change faces but not systems. This is why power rarely shifts dramatically. Real power doesn't rely on popularity or public approval. It doesn't need rallies, social media followers, or campaign slogans. Real power operates quietly through institutions that outlast any single administration. It flows through banks, energy markets, regulatory bodies, think tanks, and foundations that shape policy long before a law ever reaches Congress. True power doesn't scream. It whispers. The Rockefellers mastered this language over generations. They understood that the strongest position is one where influence is invisible. When decisions feel natural, inevitable, or necessary, resistance disappears. People don't fight what they don't see. This matters because once you recognize how influence actually works, the world starts to make sense. You understand why certain policies survive no matter who is in office. You understand why financial crises repeat, why wars seem unavoidable, and why massive industries are protected while ordinary people are told sacrifice is required. Awareness doesn't mean helplessness. It means clarity. It means no longer being distracted by surface-level drama while deeper forces shape outcomes behind the scenes. That is why this story matters. Thanks for watching. If this video changed the way you see power in America, make sure you like the video and subscribe to the channel. This channel is dedicated to exposing the hidden structures behind wealth, influence, and control. More deep dives into elite families, hidden empires, and the real forces shaping the world are coming next. See you in the next video.